it took me a while. Like, it's the same thing as expecting to be able to hold on to an inhale and never exhale. Expecting to be given unconditional love and not giving myself unconditional love. I'd be so conditional with myself. I'm like, I only got $300 right now, or whatever it is. But I ain't got, man, that's all I got right now. What, wherever you at in your stage, wherever you at, I don't know. Some people be like, I only got $3. I don't know. Some dude right now is like, I'm down to my last 3 million. But that's how all people are equal, because you can all feel the same anxiety. All the feelings are universal. So let me digress though, like how it's just you're being conditional with yourself. Like, well, your idea of self, you're being conditional in the sense that you have this idea of what you are, and then you created a limitation for it, and limitation is the devil. So it's just funny, man. I just want to start off by saying that, like that we are conditional to ourselves. So and then we get mad when people are conditional to us, and how everything becomes measured when everything's conditional. When everything is conditional, you're putting a boundary on things. So you're measuring this like, oh, I gave you a massage for 20 minutes, baby. You got to give me a massage for 20 minutes back. Like, that's condition. That's not just giving without expecting the thing in return, because giving without expecting in return is walking by faith and not by sight. Faith is Fe on the periodic table. Fe is iron. Iron is the blood. So you can't have faith if your blood is being leached by parasites. Now let's get into this main topic here. I want to shout out to my favorite troll in the world, my man Antoine Brown. I don't even know if that's his real name, but he is the most hilarious troll ever on Facebook or whatever. He probably on all media, but I was saying, I posted like acceptance is our only form of will. And he was like, it's free won't. He's like, you don't have will, you have won't. Doing, not doing is free won't. And I was like, yeah, okay, you got me with the light bulb there, big dog. I'll give you that one, Antoine Brown. That's the truth, though. It really is free won't, like doing, not doing. What you don't do is what defines you. Whether you don't do something and you regret it, or you don't do something that actually shows you what you should do. So the main topic I had here was the mesomorphic tissue. We're made of 3 levels of tissue. You got ectomorphic, which would be the European, what people are calling Europeans, ectomorphic. Endomorphic, like Indochina, Indonesia. That's people in that in between. Then you have the mesomorphic, which would be Negroids and people that are heavily melanated, or what you want to call heavily carbonated or heavily ethereal, however you want to look at it, whatever. But my point being here that it's just layers of tissue, and if you are sick in one layer of the tissue, each layer develops a bundle of glands and organs. So in the ectomorphic layer, if you have a parasite, people will say, oh, the disease spread from the kidneys to the so-and-so or whatever. It's because that whole layer of tissue is infected with a parasite. So that's what spreading of disease is. And the body is just coming from these 3 layers of tissue, which is bound together as one. Most people are walking around without having skin. We need to understand this right now, that white people are black people that have had more parasitic infections in their lineage. Pink is a shade of black. Beige is a shade of black. So from pink to purple, black, regardless, the first form was void, and it came from void to transparent, from transparent to translucent, then dark people. Then from dark people, because you're going from the void, then there's darkness, and then let there be light. So germination is the darkness into the light. And the same thing expresses itself in people. We get all the shades from albinism. It's not anything anybody should be ashamed of. Your body's perfect for your path. Shut up. So all I'm saying is that we're walking around without skin. A lot of people the tissues aren't even fully formed. The more supple and hydrated the skin is, the more it can retain as far as light. And light is everything. Light is, the body is made of minerals. And if you are darker, you have more minerals per square inch. That's all that means. So your tissue is, you could say, denser in that sense. It's more supple in a sense that It's more moist, so it's more of a fluid skin instead of like a stiff, rigid skin that is less moist and burns easily. That's why you burn, because you're not retaining moisture. So it's not anything to do with anything other than that. You eat things that are acid, or a lot of factors into why you can't retain sunlight, but it has a lot to do with your moisture. If you say you can't retain sunlight, it's because you need to change your diet and gradually get more sun and breathe in more light, conscious breathing. And you're look at Arnold Ehret. If anybody looks at Arnold Ehret, people were mistaking him. He was a German. When he went raw vegan in the 1920s and was talking about this breatharian stuff before somebody probably killed him, he was saying people were mistaking him for being other nationalities, other races or whatever, other shades of black or dark, however you want to look at it. So white people are basically people that have had a greater problem with thrush, and thrush is candida. So that's why people say white people are personified candida, because when eczema comes from a liver fungus or thrush, candida, and you lose color over time. Same thing with vitiligo. It all comes from white people are ashy too. I don't know why people don't act like white people aren't ashy. Just we're not seeing it because of the contrast is different. So, but it's definitely, Bill Burr even said that white people are ashy. Don't take it from me. So all I'm saying is that that everybody is black in just a different shade of it, and the people that are lighter have had more candida in their lineage. That's it. So the candida is a fungus doing its job, and now it's become personified to where this fungus has spread all over the world. And the color thing is a result of the effect. It's not anything other than that. You're still coming from the same source and diluting. So there's no separation. For the people that want to call me white, those are the people that neglect their own source. So that's a personal problem. And yeah, I mean, as far as the layers of tissue go, everybody has a mesomorphic, endomorphic, and ectomorphic layer. It's just that the heavily melanated person is embodying it fully, the light. So, or more fully, because it's levels to the sick. There's so many different shades of black that for us we'll be constantly pointing, and the shit will continue to roll downhill. Like, oh, I'm more tan. This person's more dark. This person's more pale. Like, that's just the fungus itself destroying us, and basically wiring our brains to continue to feed an atmosphere that creates hostility, that makes us eat a certain way. And it's a cycle that we've got in, and it's something that can easily be changed once we become aware of it. It's just that people aren't. That's what failure is. When your questions don't change, people aren't asking the right questions. That's really what it comes down to. It's not anything but that. The right question is not being formed, and the right question is just less and less, less and less and less, to where you get right down to the nitty gritty of what you need to be asking. And I mean, we can go back into the tissue thing. You look at the body from the fetal position, everything lines up perfectly, and everything's sprouting from these three levels of tissue. And then you could look at humanity like everything is expressing the Trinity like that. However you want to look, the Trinity is coming from the void. So it's still the same source, is my point. And that's it, man. Don't give yourself conditional love.